Hello my fellow flossers, welcome back to my channel. Please make sure to watch till the end to see who my weekly shout out is. So let's get to the video. Alright, so this week on my video I wanted to talk about different types of crafts and handwork that I want to learn. So we all know I love cross stitch. Okay, that's a given, don't have to worry about it. I know a little about crochet, I know basic stitches, I can do granny squares, and I can do a knit purl stitch for knitting. That's about it. So what I wanted to do in this week's video is talk about different types of crafts that I really want to learn. Now the first one on my list, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably seen me mention it once or twice, is I want to learn how to tat. That is tatting, and of course I'll have pictures edited in so you can see what I'm talking about. Now my mom has told me that all of her aunts did tatting because they couldn't afford lace. So you would tat at the end of a handkerchief for your daughter's first communion or the baptism, or on an Easter dress it would be the entire collar. Now I am of Irish heritage, and my mom says that the reason why I like all this stuff is because I'm Irish. And all of her aunts on the Irish side, they all knew how to tat. And my mom, they did not teach her, but she learned, and she had to take classes that were like $100 a piece. Holy cow, that's way too much for a class, but it's because it's a dying art. And really the only places that I've seen that tatting is really popular is like Russia. All the pictures that I found had names and titles in that Russian alphabet. I think it's called the Cyrillic alphabet. But I mean, the pictures that I'll have posted here, it's absolutely gorgeous. My favorite is this huge necklace piece where it's got matching earrings and added jewels, and it's just so gorgeous. And from what I understand, tatting is basically really tiny macrame, and I know you can do it, I think, with a crochet hook, but my mom does it with the little shuttles. So that's on like my top of my list of something that I really want to learn. Now the next few things I want to learn are in crocheting. Now I know how to do a basic granny square, but I want to learn how to do, I saw this one on Pinterest. It is this beautiful intricate flower. It looks layered and 3D, and it pops, and it looks really complicated and intimidating, although I'm sure it's just a bunch of single stitches. But I really want to learn how to do that. I'll probably teach myself sometime in my life. The next type of thing I want to do is I want to learn how to do those crochet like stuffed animals. I think it's called like argunami or something. It's something with an A, where you can make dolls, and you can make, well, the picture that I found is Care Bears, and you can find Disney, and you can get patterns. And my mom again says it's really easy, but I don't know how to do it. For some reason I just can't wrap my head around how you get it to build up in a circle, like to make the heads or the arms or the bodies. So it's on my list. Also, I mean, you can make all kinds of crazy things, like, okay, I'm going to show the picture of this one that I found. It's these little cakes that you can make for like a crochet tea set. Like, this stuff is so stinking cute. I really want to learn how to make this. Will I have time? I have no idea. The next thing I want to learn is I really want to branch out in my embroidery skills. I want to learn how to make, oh gosh, I found these. They're basically these little brooches or pendants of all these different roses and embroidery stitches, and I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. To me, they look very Victorian, so that's why I want to learn how to do these. But I know, and I'm sure it's simple once you learn the trick, like any magic. Once you learn how to do it, it's really easy. So that's something I really want to learn, and I want to make like brooches, and I want to make necklaces of these things, and maybe sell them on Etsy or something like that. I don't know. But they look really complicated and really detailed. It'd probably take me forever, and I hate French knots, so I think this would be something that I won't learn till I'm like blind and it's too late to learn it anyway. Of course, the next thing, you probably heard me say this on my last video, that I want to learn is how to quilt. I saw this beautiful quilt that is the Disney castle. Of course, I'll show it on my video with Mickey on it. I didn't know you could do things like this with quilting. And then, of course, I found one with all the Disney villains, and it's so colorful. I love the contrast of the color with the black, and then you have all the different villains on there. That's really something I love, and I've seen all kinds of crazy quilts. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's something that I really want to learn really, really bad. But first, I need to learn how to sew. Yes, you heard me right. I know the basics. I know that when you put it through a sewing machine, you're actually doing like the inside of it, and you have to flip it over. And I've made like a pillow when I was probably in middle school, I think about 6th grade. But that's it. And I also don't have room in this tiny little apartment of mine. So I want to learn how to sew, but that's a craft that I will learn once I actually have the space to do it. And once I do, I want to learn quilting, and then I want to learn things like being a seamstress. I want to make those beautiful, big Disney dresses that you see. Like one of my favorite Instagrammers is Designer Daddy, and he makes those beautiful dresses. I don't know how his mind does that. I am so, so jealous, but I really want to learn how to do that and make like adult versions of all the Disney princesses. And then of course making like the cute little aprons or the cute little girl dresses, and just, oh my gosh, it's such a fun world that I really don't know anything about. I know it's an expensive hobby, but I really want to learn it. Now, going back to embroidery, something else that my mom does that's a dying art is called crewel. C-R-E-W-E-L. Now, I think of it as everything from the 70s, because that's when my mom made all of them. And I see that it uses yarn and needlepoint and embroidery, and you can actually still buy crewel kits. So I really want to learn that, and I know you can get really intricate with some of it. You can make some absolutely beautiful flowers, or I've seen like paisley type designs. It's so gorgeous. And I think that's a dying art as well. You really don't see many people doing crewel anymore. Like when I even say it to some people, they have no idea what it is. And these are people that know how to needlepoint and know how to cross stitch. They don't know what crewel is, and I think it's in the same bracket as tatting. A lot of them don't know what tatting is either. So these are types of things that are really definitely in my wheelhouse of things that I could learn fast. So I'll probably branch out and learn how to do those before I learn how to do quilting or sewing or the crocheting of the big like the stuffed animals or anything like that. These are probably the things that I'll start with first. Now, another thing that I want to learn how to do that, like, this is just kind of random, but I love miniatures. I love doll houses. I love, love, love miniatures of things. And there are a few people on Instagram that I follow that know how to make their own. Mind blown. I had no idea that you could actually make your own miniatures. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, because I'm such a crafter and I love to make all my own things, and I used to make things for my Barbies when I was little. But this blew my mind, and you can actually take classes on how to build your own miniatures. So I've made it this little goal of mine, and I've got an entire Pinterest board dedicated to it. I want to learn how to build my own beautiful dollhouse. There's a whole world behind this. There's a community, there are magazines, like the people that I follow are featured in magazines all the time, and their work is so phenomenal and so gorgeous. I mean, they build these dollhouses from scratch. It blows my mind. And first, I just want to learn how to make the basics, like some of the pictures that I'll put in here. So little wine glasses with basically use thumbtacks and pill casings. That's so cool! Like, who thinks of these things? But the other side of that is you can really build and create your own things with polymer clay. Now, I've dabbled in a little bit of polymer clay in the past because I made my Disney bows, and I made little things, little charms to go on those Disney bows out of polymer clay. And I could spend hours on Pinterest just looking at all of the different little things that you can do. Or one thing that I saw was candle holders, like wrought iron candle holders look like perfect tables if you flip them upside down for your dollhouse. How cool is that? I never would have thought of that in a million years. Or I've seen patterns to make your own little chairs, or using, so, you know, you have the little pans in your makeup trays. you empty those out, and those can become pots and pans for your dollhouse. Or of course, another Instagrammer that I love is the Tiny Kitchen. It's fun to watch her bake all these little things, and now that I've learned, I've been looking at stuff on Pinterest, you can tell that the little pot that she uses for a lot of things is like the casing for a little candle. What are those called? Those small little ones that have no scent? I can't remember what they're called. But it's that little tin, and she's attached a little handle to it, and it looks like an actual pot. Like, that's genius. I love that. So these are all my little things that I want to learn. And of course, I go on Pinterest, and I get lost. I totally get lost. Oh, here's another thing I want to learn. This is cool. I think it's basically paper. I'll show the picture here. I have no idea what this is called, but you got all these little intricate spirals with all this different colored paper, and I've seen Disney castles made this way, and you can make letters this way. Like, that's cool. How do you learn how to do that? Please teach me. Now, the last thing that I'm going to end up teaching myself, because if you saw my haul video, I have a Haunted Mansion stitch along that I still haven't been able to do because the fabric that I ordered was back ordered. Totally sucks. So I'm just going to have to dye my fabric myself. So I think I'm going to film it. It's probably going to be a disaster because I've never done it before, ever. So I really need to teach myself how to do this, and I'm sure once I do, I'm going to be off and running to the races, and I'm going to dye every piece of fabric that comes my way, even if it's full coverage, just because I love color. I think white is a boring color. I know that it's necessary, but I love having different color fabrics. Like, even if it's beige, I noticed with my Disney Dreams kits, a few of them came with like a beige color, and I liked doing those ones more than the ones that were just on basic white. I know, I'm silly. I'm just a silly person. Now, one thing else that I also wanted to do was someone recently gave me a shout out on their YouTube channel. Like, that's cool. So I would love to return the favor. The person that gave me a shout out is Stitching in Sound. So I'm going to link his channel below. He is hilarious. He had me laughing the whole time I was watching his videos. I think he's a big fan of the Maribella. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I haven't gotten into those yet because I just don't want to get there yet. I've got a lot on my plate with the Heaven and Earth designs and my Disney Dreams collections, and now I've got the Tiny Modernist stitch along. So I've got a lot on my plate, but please go check him out. I found him really entertaining and really funny. Thank you so much for the shout out. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Now let's get to this week's shout out. So I have a fellow friend. Her name is Jen, and we've become friends through my Facebook group like everyone else that I've been giving a shout out to. And she sent me a picture of this card that she made. It's so gorgeous. I have no idea how to do this. I do not have scrapbooking capabilities. That's why I never want to have the Cricut thingy, because I don't know, that's just one craft area that I don't have the bug for, and I'm kind of grateful for it. But this card is so beautiful. I love the flowers and the butterfly, and I love just the little details that she's added to all this. And this one is not made with the Cricut, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And she's requested that her shout out, it's not an Instagram page, it's actually her Facebook page. It's called Jen Rex 4 Creations. Of course, I will have the link below. So go and give her a check out. Oh, this card is just, it's so beautiful. It has a rustic feeling to it. And it was made custom for two people that were going to be new parents. So it's just, I love the butterfly and the flower. Those are my two favorite things on this card. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Alright, now if you want to be featured on next week's video, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Liz_Disney_Craft Girl, and please subscribe to my channel. Then you can send me a picture either through Facebook, which is on my Facebook group, which is Thomas Kincaid Disney Patterns. Of course, I'll link all of that below. You can send me a picture through Facebook Messenger. You can send me a picture through my email, which I think you can find that on YouTube, but my email is disneycraftsforlife@gmail.com. You can send me a picture through there. You can send me a picture through Instagram Messenger. Please send me something that you're proud of. It doesn't have to be cross stitch. It doesn't even have to be Disney. Just send me something that you're proud of so I can share it with the rest of the world. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Bye.